Can we talk about accountability?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Like, talk about something the world desperately needs. We want to blame the algorithm. We want to blame our parents. We want to blame the government. We want to blame everything.
Yep.
We have become addicted with pointing fingers, and nobody wants to point the thumb at themselves. I believe most people's unhappiness that are listening right now are completely predicated on their lack of accountability. If you are unhappy, you are actually in a position to fix it. If you are listening to this, you are of the means to fix it. And I think that accountability is the breakthrough of the next decade, because we've gotten very cozy with not being accountable.
Makes sense.
Right? Like, you're not happy about your boyfriend? Break up with him.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, everybody in Dubai right now listening, call your boyfriend that you're unhappy with and break up.
Let's do it on the radio.
I mean, but Rossi, it's important. Like, you don't like the country you're in? Move.
Sure.
You're blaming the situation, but you should turn it and look at yourself.
And here's the point, whether you're right or wrong, your mother might be poisonous, but the second you take control of it, you become happier. Yeah. Whether you're right or wrong about, like, I think everything is my fault. I'm logical to know that not everything is my fault, but the default of thinking everything is my fault actually makes me happy.
I get that.
Let's talk about number 9 on your book, and it's one that I've got here, which I've told you about, patience.
Yes.
Because I believe that, could you give us your views on just that word, patience?
The lack of it is also a huge factor to why people are unhappy. Everybody is looking for so much outside validation that they're impatient. They want to show everybody that they're successful, thus they're rushing into things. You have 23-year-olds who think that they don't have their life figured out, yet they're living for another 80 years. Patience has been huge for me. Most people hear the word patience and have it confused with complacency, laziness, lack of ambition. It's not true. I actually think patience has been foundational in my success. I decided to build my dad's business for him for the first 12 years of my career. That required huge patience from somebody who thought they were great. I didn't even start, quote unquote, until I was 34. Patience is huge, it's huge, and people don't want to do it because they want instant gratification. And more importantly, instant outside validation. My belief is that fear is powerful, and however you were brought up or what your ideology is on safety, you put having a job on a pedestal as something that's secure. The logic for all of us listening to you right now is if you're making double what you make in there, it seems like a very obvious step, but I'm empathetic that you're scared to make that jump. My thing to remind you and people out there in a similar situation is it's not very hard to get another job if you fail, if you leave this job. And so for me, if we were friends and we talked all the time, the thing I would always remind you every day is if you take the leap of faith and some reason it doesn't work, which by the way, if you're making double your salary as a side hustle, if you give 100% of your time to that, I have a funny feeling it's going to work out. But I would remind you that you could always go and get a job again in the same industry, maybe for a different company. Believe it or not, and I've seen this, sometimes for the same company because they missed you. That's what I would pound into your head, because whatever you grew up with, it created an ideology that a job was safe. Does that make sense to you, Mo?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Listen, before you leave, you need to re-listen to that over and over and over. Every human being is the byproduct of what they listen to. So if you're listening to your parents or a +1 or somebody else that's saying, no, don't make the jump, you're not gonna make the jump. If you listen to somebody who's saying something practical like, take the jump, and oh, by the way, if it doesn't work, you can always go back, and if it fails, who cares about other people's judgment? Then you'll jump. Everybody who's listening right now is going to struggle with the concept because they're bringing their internet brain to the blockchain.
Okay.
Let me say that one more time. The blockchain is such a different platform than the internet that when I tell you that what an NFT is it's a digital asset that you own, most people don't understand that because they're like, well, that doesn't work on the internet. I can right click and save the image.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the same way that in 1994, 5, 6, when I told people that people would buy wine on the internet and everybody who was 20, 30, 40, 50 thought that was stupid, most people who think NFTs are stupid don't realize that they've become their mom and dad and grandparents.
Yeah.
Just like they thought the internet was stupid, email was stupid, the iPhone was stupid, social media was stupid, online dating was stupid. People don't realize that they are missing the boat on this technology. But the answer to your question is, an NFT is a non-fungible token, which is a digital asset that you actually own. And when people say, well, why would I want to own something digitally? I'd need to hold it. Well, a lot of people who are driving right now want a blue check mark on their Instagram account, and guess what? You don't hold that. Yeah. A lot of people want 10 million followers on social media. You don't hold that. A lot of people live their life to take photos on the internet. You don't hold that. We are living a digital life, and if you have children that are buying skins on Fortnite.
Both my kids love buying skins.
Well, guess what? That's a digital asset. And as we go more digital, your clout, your status, your need to communicate is happening more digitally than it's happening in real life. People do things just for a photo on social media. It's human psychology. Last of all, it's a smart contract, meaning the digital asset can also mean something on the back end. So for example, I have a huge business conference in Minnesota in May called VCon. It's like a South by Southwest Coachella of business. And the only way you can get in is if you own a VFriend.
Wow.
It is the ticket.
Right.
You're also opening up the first NFT restaurant in the world.
That's right, Flyfish Club, which will open next year, early next year in New York City.
Can I get membership?
If you buy it.
That's why he's so rich.
But it's super interesting. It's super interesting. A lot of people right now, especially in this town, they pay for a membership, country clubs, Soho House, all these things, but you pay. You don't own an asset. With NFTs, your membership is an NFT, but if you decide after 3 months you don't want to come anymore, you put it on the blockchain and you sell it. It's creating a world where your access or your membership becomes an asset, not an expense.
Understand that.
So think about that.
So but the NFT restaurant that you're opening up, it's not a physical restaurant.
Oh, it's a physical restaurant.
I'll be able to walk into this thing. And
this is not the metaverse, which I
Yeah.
think is much further away than people think. I don't think we're living in VR. And people mix metaverse and NFT. They're separate things.
Okay.
This is a physical restaurant that is going to be wildly premium, large location, highly in demand, that the NFT is just your membership. And so that will open in Q1 of next year.
Back to back, Garyvee's in the studio. He lands in the city, and then it's just go, 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 go. You just don't stop. You're in and out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of maximizing all the time, right?
Just do that.
So we're here and we want to see everybody.
Don't waste time, right?
But don't burn yourself out, right? Like, don't waste time, but don't get it twisted. I got good 8 hours of sleep on the flight out here.
Nice.
And then we got in late and I got another 6. Like, I'm all about sleep.
Yeah.
It's just that when I'm awake, I want to be as efficient as possible.
A personal question about you. Do you enjoy driving cars? Do you have a bunch of cars? Like, we know you got money. You
Nope.
don't buy cars.
I don't really understand like, to me, it's all about everyone has different things they like.
Yeah.
I don't understand the performance of a car. I don't want to go fast. Like, that's not my jam.
That's
Yeah.
not your thing.
No.
Okay.
Well, like no jewelry either, right?
No jewelry. Like, I don't like things. I like the game. I like the process of being an entrepreneur. I don't like the things that come along with entrepreneurship. I really don't. I don't need the trophies. I just need to play my game.